OBS reconnected successfully. Fantastic. Welcome back. Thank you. Let me see. What's the word I'm looking for? Restart? Oh, refresh. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so before everything broke on me, the lights flickered for a second. So everything kind of shut off for a split second. Luckily, nothing happened to the PC. The PC somehow ran just fine. I guess, like, I'm assuming there's like a power in... There's some sort of power in the PC that prevents it from shutting off if, you know, everything else shuts off for a mere moment. So, nothing happened there. Also, ads start in 30 seconds. But everything else, the internet just, the routers, they restarted. Which meant, so did everything else. Well, luckily it was just the routers. Which also reminds me, before I forget, let's save this, because I don't want to lose any of this now. Okay, let me see. So, we got the front of the body, the head, and the bottom half of the body down here. So we got the three parts. We got the three parts. So now what we need to do now is just set up... Well, first, actually, we're going to keep that there. Get our brush. What was I talking about before that? I don't remember. But I guess a storm really did approach. UPS device is what I use to keep internet thing on. Uninterruptible power supply. Oh. You know what? I gotta try that next time. Because the power supply keeps messing with me every time. Let's also save before it's too late. Now, let's get the color tone for this here brush. But yeah, I completely forgot what I was talking about, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll figure that out sometime in the future. In the meantime, let's get our brush. Let's make it very, very blurry. 0% sharpness. And let's add some... What's the word I'm looking for? Let's add some outlines to the edge of said snowman. Snow moth. There we go, like so. Make it stand out a bit. Next layer. We're going to go to this one. Same thing as before. Just add some outlines to the edge of the snow moth. And mostly on the right and left. Have it dissipate when it gets closer to the bottom and closer to the top. Have it disappear around those points. You know what? We're going to make this one a little bit thinner. Just a little bit thinner. There we go. Something like that. Now, last but not least, let's go back to the top here. Top of the head. And do the exact same thing here as well. Have it go all the way across. Maybe add a little bit of an outline at the bottom here because it's not hidden behind other parts. And that should be good. There we go. We're good. There. Snow moth outline. Let's catch up with some reading right quick. The Second Coming of Moth. Unfortunately. But yes, welcome back. Thank you there, Spock and Icy. What's more cursed? A Bobby with Virgil's voice or a Virgil with Bobby's voice? I want to say a Bobby with Virgil's voice. I know that question's for Icy, but I'm going to answer that one right here, right now, because let's be honest, I feel like most anime characters are just Bobby with, are just Virgils with Bobby's voice. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Both? Okay, Icy's gonna hate me for this one. Icy's definitely gonna hate me for this one. Isn't a Virgil with Bobby's voice just... How do I put this? Isn't that just... Isn't that just... Okay. I need to compose myself, and I need to accept death before I say this. Last day on Earth, let's make it count. Isn't that just Dobby from My Hero Academia? Prove me wrong. Is that not just Dobby? A Virgil with Bobby's voice? Lampy? Yep, this is my time. Alright, folks. I hope you enjoyed the very last stream. I would say that this is my retirement stream or my graduation stream, but let's all be honest. I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna be straight up murdered now. Why? Blame Ryu. Ryu's the one that, what's the word I'm looking for? They brought up the question that made me realize an answer. Blame Ryu. Okay, let me see. We're gonna get rid of all of these so we can go to the wing, and we're gonna add some detail to said wing. Lampy is now live. Thank you, Stream Elements. A little late for that. Always using me as a scapegoat, and I'll never stop. When I get canceled, that's the first thing I'm just gonna put. Like, if there's ever a document or a video or a news segment where they bring up that I did something absolutely abhorrent that deserves cancellation, I'm just gonna put a Google Doc and say, 1 page, 1 sentence Google Doc, check it out. It's just gonna say, blame Ryu. Blame Ryu Elf, and I'm gonna link their Twitch page and everything. I'm just gonna put all their socials. Blame Ryu. This guy. This person in particular. It's not gonna help my case. If anything, it's gonna be worse, but I think it would be funny. By the way, for those of you that don't know, this is a joke. Because I feel like sometime, somewhere down the road, someday, someone's gonna look at this and they're gonna take it seriously. They're gonna be like, see, Lampy already prepared his scapegoat for all sorts of this and that. Lampy's a bad person. I'm like, well, yeah. We've been through this. Yo, Phoenix Wolf, welcome on in. I recognize those emotes. I recognize those worms. I know a Toxicure emote when I see one. Save? Thank you for the save there. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you're having a good day. Oh, you know what? We shouldn't be putting the outline yet. Here's what we should do. We're actually going to get our brush, put it at 50% opacity, so it only takes up half of the pigment. We're just going to make a bunch of thin lines. Bunch of thin lines right here. Now, it's not going to make a lot of sense right now, but give it a moment. It'll all make sense all in due time. There we go. Now that we got that, we're going to get our brush. Increase the size of our brush. Actually, not even our brush. We're going to take our smudge tool, increase the size, bring the sharpness to 0, and then we're just going to do this. Actually, you know what? Before we add that line, just take our brush and just squiggle this thing like crazy, like nobody's business, until it's practically lost its shape. Because as you can see, it kind of has a shape. It's kind of a thin line. We want that gone. We don't want that shape there, but we still want the tone. Too much. Blend it in a little bit, but not lose Again, we want it to lose its shape, but we don't want it to lose the fact that it exists. We just keep doing that with all of these. Just blend them in. Blend them in ridiculously. Like so. All right, let me see. I wish I had the means to get a picture of us having this conversation in a comic style and me with a 1,000-yard stare. Hold on a minute. I need to save this. I need to screen cap this message because I kind of want to draw this later. There's a lot of messages that I see in the chat where I've saved them over the years, just thinking to myself, I want to draw this. One good example is that someone mentioned a while back a zombie orca. Another mention was, I think there was something about a superpower with spoons. And there was also the thought of, how many of y'all know Soul Reaver or the Legacy of Kain series? Specifically the character Raziel from the Legacy of Kain series. If you know that one, you're awesome and you know cool vampires. If you don't know that one, it's a cool story about vampires and time travel. And not gonna lie, the time travel's actually good. Because the whole story starts with time travel. So, it's not one of those things where they just kind of lazily toss it in. This entire story was integrated on this. And they actually had a pretty cool way about going about this time travel. And how time, or the universe, sorts out its paradoxes. Where the paradoxes still exist, but the world kind of adjusts to compensate said paradox. Instead of the paradox just messing everything up, it's more like, okay, this happened, this shouldn't exist, but because of that, we're just going to go about it this way. Oh, I remember how the game said it. The way the game put it was, it's a ripple in time. Think of the stream of time as an actual stream of water. If you toss a pebble, which is the paradox, into said stream, it doesn't stop the flow of water. In fact, the water flows around said rock, said obstruction. And that's how they went with time in that one. Like, okay, it doesn't stop time. It doesn't exactly... It kind of changes time, but time still goes along as it normally would, regardless of what you put in the way. And I like that aspect. Anyway, with that being said, the reason I brought that up is because there was a concept of a character called Raziel. They're a revenant. They're a wraith. And they devour souls by consuming them like a vacuum. They're practically like a soul vacuum. The moment they decide to unsheath their mouth, yeah, I said what I said. The moment they decide to unsheath their mouth, boom, all of a sudden soul vacuum, and all the souls get consumed by them. And when someone was playing that game, the concept of Kirby as Raziel sucking up souls was mentioned, and I saved that image, or I saved that message, because I want to draw that someday. Love that game? Same. Same. PS2? Yeah, PS2. I need to play the other ones now that I have the income. Had the first one for the Dreamcast and played it through at least twice. Oh yeah, most definitely they're Tron. Last I remembered, there's like 3 other ones along with Soul Reaver. There's Legacy of Kain, Legacy of Kain 2, Soul Reaver 2, then Defiance. So yeah, a grand total of 5. Fair warning, Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 wasn't exactly written by the same people, But I think they had some very quotable dialogue in there regardless. But I think the best one that they made was Defiance? Yeah, I want to say the best one they made was Defiance. And it's a shame, because from what I heard, they were planning on making a second game. The only downside was, they just kind of, the game got scrapped. And I think their studio got bought. I don't exactly remember all the details, but I remember something along those lines. Also, if you're looking at the... Thank you for the bits. Wait, why didn't that work? Actually, yeah, why didn't that work? Hold on a minute. Let me close this and let me try it again. I'm gonna close that. Gonna turn this back on, because that should have worked. Also, I see you, Jira. We're gonna set up that text-to-speech properly because it didn't work, but I was gonna say if I'm anything, I could say that I'm not a cheat, but I also showed people how to cheat hydrate redeems or hydrate drowning. So, kind of. Anyway, that's not the point. The point being here is this.
Lampy, Moth, Tax, and Lurk.
Thank you for the lurk there, Jira. Thank you for the bits. Save your money. And we're going to give a shout out to Jira. Jira is one of many dorks. I say this with admiration. That has a really fun stream, really hilarious times. You can bully them with bits too. I highly recommend it. I know I do. And overall, just really fun times over there. Great people. Thank you for the hydrate there, Spock. All right. I love that idea. Same. That's why I wanted to draw that one day. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I want to. One of these days. One of these days. That's so cool. I know, right? Legacy of Kain is a great series. Go check it out. Also, fair warning though. Fair warning. If you're going to play the Legacy of Kain series, have a dictionary on hand. They are going to say a lot of words. And I remember when I was younger, me and my friends, when we, or not me and my friends, when me and my brothers played that game, we had to have we had to have the dictionary on hand because we had to pause throughout multiple dialogues just to find out what on earth does excrement mean. Excrement from a boot. Excrement. Oh, it's manure. Understandable. Have a nice day. Or like words like uninhabited. What on earth is... Okay, granted, when we played it, I was in middle school. My older brother was barely getting into high school, so those kind of words kind of eluded us at the time. These were the first times we were ever hearing these words. So, have that one on the ready. Let's see. A Wrinkle in Time. Madeline, Elle, and Gil had a similar concept. Yeah, see, there you go. I need to play Darksiders 2 again. Yeah, I need to play Darksiders 2. Eventually. Joke's on you there. Yeah. Joke's on you there, Jira. You're not the only one with the Uno reverse card. And this one's shiny. Not my emote, but it's still a great emote. And I try to use that one every time an Uno reverse card comes out. Like, oh yeah? Let's see you best a hollow Uno reverse card. Shoutouts to Mofu for making a hollow Uno reverse card. You're up to shenanigans again. Indeed they are, as they always are. Get them. Thesaurus might be quicker to find the words in. It could be. I'm gonna stick with the dictionary. This way I could hear the description of, or not the description, but yeah, the definition of what the word is. Instead of just, what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of just the, you know what I mean. I'm gonna go with the dictionary. Stares into the distance in childhood bookworm. Oh, then in that case, Phoenix, you won't need a dictionary. You'll know this stuff off the bat. You'll hear these words like, I get it. I understand what uninhabited means. That's the game with the other... Oh, right. It's because death is in that game. Understandable. Man, I'm working on some writing by my eyesight. Oh, I'm working on some writing, but my eyesight is so bad, I was squinting and had to up the font size. That's fair, that's fair. That's honestly reasonable. And yeah, if your eyes, or yeah, if you get to the point where your eyes are squinting looking at it, well, then again, if you're writing, chances are the font might be small. So yeah, that makes sense. Also, I gotta remember, here's what we gotta do. Now that I got these layers set up, what we need to do is this. We need to go back to this set of wings, delete that one, go to this arm.
Bang. Think I got him, boss.
Thank you. But why did you use bits? Save your money. Well, thank you for the bits, Alito. What was I talking about again? Oh, right, writing. I don't know how the writing process works. All I know is that words are small and words are tough. So anyone who could write, I commend you for that. Here's the eyeball. We need to get rid of that eye. We need to get rid of that leaf. We need to get rid of that stick. Because now that we got all that set up, and yeah, I think this works. I'm gonna merge that one down. Oh, wait. Let's take these two layers. We're gonna merge them down. We're gonna take this here leaf, merge these two down. We're gonna take that there eye. It's already set. We're gonna take the head, merge those down. Actually, I got an idea for these lines here in particular. Because I'm thinking maybe we should get this color tone here. Make it a little bit darker. Actually, significantly darker. Something around those lines. And use that very dark color tone for the outline of the... Whoops, not that part. The outline of the body? Maybe? Maybe. We'll figure this out. Maybe darker. Dark enough to where it's noticeable, but bright enough to where it actually shows some sort of... Actually, you know what? We're just going to go back. Too much. We're going to leave it there. All right, now that we got that, we're just going to get this, merge the head, merge the middle, and then merge the bottom. And then last but not least, merge the wings. Now we're just going to make a duplicate of the wings and everything in this group. First, let's merge or duplicate the top group here. Then we merge the wing. Because now that we got that, and they're all duplicated, just going to flip them horizontal. Just move them until we got the exact spot that we want them in. Boom, perfect. And here is our Snow Mothman. We got our Snoth. Hold on a minute, let me move this up a little bit. We got our Snoth model over here. Hold on a minute, let me try this again. I'm gonna snag all of these layers. Put all of these together. Put them in one giant group. Just move this up a bit. There we go, perfect. Now y'all can see the Snoth. We got our Snow Mothman, better known as the Snothman. I hope y'all enjoy. we're still not done because it's only been like less than 2 hours. So I think what we can do next is actually just go into live 2D and see if we could rig this sucker in one day. I think it might be possible. Possibly. We're gonna find out. But also, before we try that, I want to show you something. Because I always say this every time, and what that is that when you're starting out a project, don't worry about what it looks like. Do not worry about little details. Just get the project on paper. Start with the sketch. Don't worry about making it look good. Just worry about getting the idea on the paper. Once you've got it on the paper, that's when you could clean it up. Whoops, hold on a minute. There we go. That's when you could clean it up. Always remember, as that current meme that's been going around has been saying, make it first, then fix it. Or something along those lines. Something about a circle. Anyway, you know what I mean. Jura and Viken be the snipers. Target acquired. Yeah, they're always like that. Don't have a gun, but I have this menacing spray bottle. Get him. Spray him. Spray the Jira. Alright, adding a gun and sword emote to the list of emotes I'ma need. Oh yeah, specifically the Yamato. Spray bottle, so much scarier than pew pew. Depending on who's getting the spray bottle. Actually, let's be honest. If you're getting the spray bottle, that means you're getting bonked. So yeah, probably. That looks really good, Lampy. Thank you there, Icy. I'm glad that you like it. Beautiful. Thank you there, Bambi. Very nice, Lampy. Looks really cute. Yo, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Just wait till you see this thing moving. That's the next step. Which, by the way, I think right now is a good time to start that. So, well, actually, first what we need to do is hide a lot of layers. So, we got that sketch. We showed you what it looked like, so you could see where it starts and how it ends. Now it goes away. And shout out to AV Chris. They were the one that inspired the Snow Mothman design. Granted, we took some liberties, but this was the original creation of the Snow Mothman. So I want to give them I want to show credit where credit is due. The idea came from a V Chris. Let's see if we can shout out V Chris right quick. V Chris. Let's see if this works. Yeah, them. Shout out to V Chris. They were the ones that actually created the Snow Mothman. They even made a little song for it too. I'm gonna try to use that song for the promotion of Snow Mothman over here when the time comes around. Now let's put that Snow Moth back onto the screen. Epic Twitch suggestion. Lamps stick together. I don't know how that's a suggestion, but I agree. And welcome on in there, Bucket Lamp. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Hope things are going well. I hope things are good. And thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Crew. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're Lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Oh, Twitch suggested... Oh, Twitch suggested you is what I mean. Oh, okay. I apologize. I can't read. And yo, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. And still, I agree. But yeah, I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're having a good weekend and all that good stuff. And good to see you there, JP. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. CA? CA indeed. All right. YMCA. We're going to delete this layer. We're going to delete that layer. Wait, why can't I? Oh, because it's locked in. Not no more. Now that we got all of that set up, our Snow Mothman is ready for live 2D rigging. We're going to save right here. Now let's catch up some stuff. This little guy is the cutest and must be protected. This little guy is gonna melt after January. I don't make the rules. Don't worry, he'll be back next year, though. Alright, let's see. What are we doing next? Oh, right. Now that we got all this saved, we're gonna try to just... Oh, actually, you know what? I know what I could do. I'm ungrouping a lot of these layers, because we don't really need all these groups. No, not merge group, ungroup. You know what? It's fine. We're just going to save this and we're going to delete it. We're going to close all of that. We're going to come back to this later. And also, thank you for the hydrate there. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, how are things going, Lampy? Yeah, so far, so good. I just tested out the 3D printer. It came out working smoothly. So now I can start working on the Lampy figures and see how much material it takes to make that. I just got myself a new commission. It's going to be drawing wings. I like drawing wings. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And what was the other project? I just shipped out a package. I forgot what else. Oh, and I got to work on some... I'm almost finished with the last page of the comic, so that's going to be revealed in October 31st? Yeah, 31st, October. Now, what else was I working on? Oh, right. We got to go to the live 2D cubism. We got to open up this stuff. And I need to see if it's on the screen. It is not on the screen yet. Let me fix that up. I also need water. Here we are. No, none of that stuff there. Oh, right. Here's what we gotta do. Now that we got all of that ready, we just need to go to our Clip Studio. Not Clip Studio. Live 2D. And we need to take our Snowman Moth model. Or PNG. Not PNG. Let me re-articulate my words. Let me recombobulate or something. What's the words I'm looking for? Let me reset for a moment. Now that we got the Live 2D program open, what we need to do is go to our PSD file, which is the file that we were drawing all the layers on. Just drag that into our not VTube Studio, Live 2D Cubism program. Then it's going to start asking... Oh, actually, it doesn't ask any questions. Perfect. Now that we got all that set up, we can finally begin on everything else. Nice? Yeah. It's been a very busy day today. I think that's why my brain is fried. I've been working since 7 in the morning. And I'm surprisingly been awake all since then. Alright, so now that we got to this point, here's what we need to do. We need to go to that... Oh, you can't see because of that thing. Give me a second. We're going to move this out of the way for a moment. Not that. We're going to move that out of the way for a second because I want to show what this is. So, the first thing we need to do to start this all up is that we need to go to this box right here. Also, why are you still holding a shotgun? Why not? But true, the shotgun's been there for quite a while. It's time to get rid of the gun. Alright, for now anyway. So anyway, the next thing we need to do. We need to go to this box up here that shows 3 squares. It just kind of looks like 3 pictures in 1 square. We need to click on that thing. Because that is going to be the thing that sets up our texture atlas. What is a texture atlas? What's a good way to put up or set up... What's the best way to explain a texture atlas? We're always going to have to Tutorial? There we go, tutorial. So a texture atlas is basically where it takes all of the layers that we just drew earlier, puts it in a box, puts it all in a singular image, and that's the images that they'll have for the VTube Studio model, or Live 2D model. We're going to go with a 4x4, yeah, 4K by 4K, or technically 4096 for our square. And then we put OK, and a whole box pops up, and this is all of our layers, each and every one of them. We're always going to make sure that it has an automatic layout. Oh, right, I should probably explain that one a little bit more. Okay, so when you're working on a Live 2D model, it might not always pop up this way. You might get something where everything is condensed. All of it is in under one spot, like so, where they're all under the same thing. They're all layered on top of each other. And you do not want that for obvious reasons. If you have them all layered together, actually, let me show you what happens if they're all layered together. We're going to put OK. You're going to see just how bad this gets. Yeah. Kind of a monstrosity when you think about it. And we don't want that when it comes to our Live 2D model. So how do we fix that? Well, let's go back to those squares up there. Let's click on that. And we could either move them to where they're all separate from one another, but that might take a long time. That's going to take a lot of work, and we might make some mistakes. So how do we fix that? That is what these tabs up here are for. Specifically, automatic layout. We want to go to that one. Click on that automatic layout, and you're going to see a bunch of things that's going to look intimidating. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Just look at the number. Just look at the number here. You can either have it at 0, 1, 5, and okay. So the number here is the margin. That tells you how far apart all of these layers are going to be from one another. If it's 0, they might be like right next to one another, like no space between them at all whatsoever. And based on the numbers that you add, will, determine how much space is between them. Me personally, I like to put a margin of 10 pixels. You put OK, and that's literally it. Just work on that number. And it doesn't even have to be anything major. It could just be 10. And then once you got that 10 up there, just put OK. That's it. That's all. Just number 10. OK. Everything else, not that important. You leave it right there. And then you just click. And boom. It's separated, placed, and organized everything for you. And then you just put OK. You wait for it for a minute. And boom. Everything's all fixed up. Everything is right where it needs to be. Eldritch model indeed. Onions have layers. Onions do have layers. Why are we talking about food? He lowered it. Time to steal the snacks. Wait, I lowered what? Oh, the gun. Oh, that's why y'all wanted me to put the gun away. Hold on a minute. Okay, see, this is why I keep the guns up. See, Quee already got to the snacks. Quee's already stolen some snacks. This is why we never put the gun down. Yo, Harmless, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Harmless. If you haven't checked out Harmless, I highly recommend that you do. Really good at, really good at Overwatch. Plays a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! They do art. Go check them out. All right, now what on earth am I trying to do? Oh, yeah. So, now that we got the layers set up, what we need to do is select everything here. Actually, before we do anything else, here's what we should really do. Let's take every single one of these layers, every single one of the layers that's on a specific side. Oh, I could just take this entire group folder. Delete that one, as well as all the contents inside. We're going to get rid of 1/2 of this entire thing. Now, why are we getting rid of that 1/2? We'll explain that one later down the road. But for right now, let's just remove all of the reflected items. That might actually answer your question right there. Sorry, I was referenced to Shrek. Wait, what Shrek reference? Hold on a minute. Oh, onions have layers. True. Onions and ogres have layers. I'm running a tournament tomorrow. Hey, congratulations. Wait, how do you run a tournament? That's pretty awesome. Okay, so here's what we got to do now. Now that we got all of the layers set up and we got rid of the excess layers on the side, we're going to select everything here. Select every single one of our layers, which in this current case right now is not so bad because this is a very, very small model. But if this were a much bigger model, like the standard live 2D humanoid models, this would be a lot of freaking layers to work with. But luckily, this is a simple project, simple model. So now that we got all of that, we are going to go to our automatic mesh generator over here. That would be the box at the top with the 3 triangles. Click on that box with the 3 triangles that specifically says auto underneath it. Click on that, and this tab here will have popped up for you. And again, this looks intimidating. You're probably going to look at this and think, okay, what's all those numbers? Vertices, boundaries, what is all of this? I'm scared. Where do I begin? I'm going to show you. Also, NazCat, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to NazCat. Go check out NazCat. They also do a lot of art. They also do a lot of streaming. Really cool stuff over there. Really cool streams. All right. So, here's what we got to do. It is very, very simple when it comes to this model stuff. All we have to do is go to the preset. And there will normally be 3 tabs. Standard, little, and heavy. Super is a custom one. Don't worry about that one. So what we have is standard, little, and heavy. This is probably what you're going to start off with. And these just determine... Hold on a minute. Let me move this a little bit closer over here so you could actually see it. Now those 3, I feel like they're a little self-explanatory, but let me show you right quick first. We're going to go to standard. Now, standard gives you your it gives you your mesh. And the mesh is consisting of God knows how many triangles. Specifically triangles. And these triangles help you move the model around. You know what? I should show you what it looks like beforehand. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Let's just go back to the model at hand. I'm going to show you something. We're going to fast forward a little bit and create a warp deformer. Do not worry. I'm just going to make this right quick so I can explain something. I will explain the warp deformer later on. Wait, was this beforehand? Hold on a minute. No, it should be there. Okay, let me see. Not gonna lie, for a warp deformer, that's actually working really good. Which I'm very surprised about. Yeah, for something with no warp deformers properly set, that actually worked really well. I'm surprised about that. Anyway, the main reason for setting up the warp deformers is so that you can mesh and blend all of this properly. Also, thank you for redeeming Bird to Angel, and I almost forgot. Hold on a minute. Even though Ryu wasn't the one that redeemed this, the DD Crow is still stealing their card. Anyway, yeah, so that redeem just switches the bird out to their humanoid form, and there you go. Did you know that you are the lampiest of moths? Lies and slander. I know more lamp-like moths than me. I know some moths that have actual light sources in them. But thank you, I greatly appreciate it. Okay, going back to it. Automatic mesh. We're gonna click on this. We're gonna go to heavy. Instead of standard, we're gonna go with heavy. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should have went with standard. Because I don't think this is gonna be a very... Actually, you know what? We're adding physics to this. Maybe heavy is a good idea. Let's go with heavy anyway. Except for... Actually, you know what? I take it back. We're going back to standard because I feel like standard was a lot more clean. And maybe we'll just take these two wings and turn those ones into heavy meshes. Yeah, I think these ones would be good options for the heavy mesh because of certain reasons, aka physics. And we'll work on those physics a little bit later. Now that we got all that set up, we're going to catch up with a little bit of reading. And then we're going to actually start working on warp deformers and stuff. So look forward to that soon enough. All right, let me see. That was a lot to talk about. Saving space on the file. That too, that too. In Master Duel with the new Genesis format. Wait, they added Genesis format to Master Duel? It's about time. I might actually pick up Master Duel again. Alright, let me see. But yeah, hope you're having a good day there, NazCat. Folks, go check out NazCat. Really awesome people. I don't know what it is today, but despite the fact that it's October, it is an extremely warm day today. Now, this is now for the part that I like to call the boring part. Because now we need to set up warp deformers. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that right quick. But first, let's get the body warp deformer. And in order to make that warp deformer, we need to select all the parts that are needed for said deformer. And in this case, we're going to select them all. Just for this one, just for this one deformer, we're going to select them all. And we're also going to have to go all the way up top here to where you see these three lines, all these dots in one spot. Kind of looks like a fishing net if you look really close at it. We're going to click on that fishing net, also known as Create Warp Deform. And when you do... Oh, right, I got to put this back to the tutorial page. And when you do, this little box will pop up. When this box pops up, you're probably going to see this and get very, very intimidated again. I know I did when I first did. When I first clicked that button, I'm looking at all of this stuff like group part, name, add, what is all this stuff? Root deformer, size, number of divisions. What is all of this? I'm going to let you know right now. When you're first starting out, again, this one is deceptively simple. It looks complicated, but it's actually quite easy. All you gotta do is go to the part that says name it something based off of what you want to recognize it as. For example, this one, since it's going to be all the layers in one, we're going to just call it root. Put OK. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that one alone, actually. We're just going to take all of these parts, and we're going to call this body. Body. And that's it. You just name it. Then you put OK, you put create. Boom, you got your box. We might adjust the size of the box, though, a little bit. We're going to hold Control so we could increase the size of the box without warping the actual model itself. Because what I want is to make the box just a little bit bigger. There we go. We can even bring this up a bit if we wanted to. Just bring it up top like that. But I just want it to be in this specific spot right here. And now that we got that. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're going to do about all of that. We're going to delete that deformer. We're just going to take the middle and the bottom wing. Go over here. Create a new warp deformer. We're going to call this body. Then we're going to put create. Then we're going to go to the leaf. Not that leaf, this leaf. We're going to go to the wing leaf over here. And I'm going to show you the other type of warp deformer. I showed you the warp deformer. Now I'm going to show you the rotation. We click on said rotation, which is the circle with a line sticking out of it. Kind of looks like an upside down Q. click on that circle. And then again, rotation deformer thing will pop up. It's going to look something similar to the warp deformer. This one, very simple. Wing rotation, which kind of already has the name for it. We just name it. And if it already has the name like it does right now, we just put create, boom, and we got our red circle. However, that red circle might not be where you want it to be. Because, you know, this is a wing. So why is that circle right over there? If we wanted to flip it, we're not going to be able to flip it all that well. Do not worry. Simple solution. Again, you hold the control key or the equivalent on your device. Then you left click, drag that circle to where you think the wing would move. You leave it right there. And then boom, we got our wing flap. Well, the first half of the wing flap. We got it moving up and down and all of that. We got what we needed here. And we're going to leave that part alone for now. Now for the stick. We need to make a warp deformer for stick. We're going to just name it that. Stick. And then we put create. We're all good there. This is the part why I said it was going to get boring, because instead of actually doing any warping, we just have to organize stuff right quick. We need to prepare it to actually warp. Same thing with the antennae right here. Antenna. I don't even know if I spelled that right, but we're going to stick with that. There we go. Antenna. Now for the next part, we're going to take the antenna right here. We're going to take the eye and the head. Actually, you know what? We'll leave that part for later. Let's just go for the eye and the head for now. We're going to make another warp deformer. Or not warp. Rotation deformer. And we're going to just call this one head. Put create. Boom. And that part should be fun. Now we got all of that set up. Let's actually go back to the drawing room for this, so you could actually hear music while we talk about this. Of course, the music stopped. Kind of there. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is, now that we got our rotation deformer and our body deformer, the reason why we went for it that way and not adding the antenna or the wings to all of it, or even the arm, is because I wanted it to have an even shape. If we added the arm, I can actually show you right now. If we added the arm and the body deformer, the green boxes, and I put create warp deformer, it would have made it very uneven. It would have looked like this. And we don't want it to look like that. We want an even, down the center warp deformer. This is why we did not add the wings or the stick to everything else. Because it would have just been uneven. And we don't want that. Like, you recognize the cult? No. There is no recognizing the cult. There is no cult. Well, there is a cult, but I don't accept it. What was I talking about again? Oh, right. So, now that we got the body, and we got the head, we're actually going to take the antenna right here. We're going to take this green box at the very, very left side over there. And we're going to drag this down into... Okay. Let's increase the size of said box right quick, because I need to show this one. I also wanted to mention that these deformers in the left side over there that you can see, they are kind of like folders. They hold your layers. And yeah, they hold your layers and they warp alongside them. Which means you can also take certain deformers, you could also take certain folders, green boxes, red circles, all of that, and you could put them within one another. And we're going to do that right now. We're actually going to take the antennae, the antenna deformer, along with the antenna layer within it, and we're going to put this one into the head rotation deformer. Just drag it, plop it in there like it's a folder, and boom. That antenna sticks along with the head. We're going to do the same thing with the stick and the wings for the body. Just gonna drag these two in here, toss them into the body. Now that we got that done, I'm gonna show you how this all works. I'm also probably gonna take a nap because it's like around 9 o'clock. I'm gonna probably stop around 10. I know I normally stick around to like 11 or 12 or so, but my brain is fried. And I can't think very well. I mean, heck, I've misinterpreted certain messages earlier today, so I'm like, yeah, I need sleep. Popping in to remind Lampy that he's an amazing person, wonderful streamer, talented artist, lovely pal, adorable moth, and a cutie. Lies and slander, I know you. And welcome on in there, Zelda. Hope you're having a good day. What was I talking about again? Oh, right. So now that we added those groups, now that we added the antenna to the head rotator, the antenna moves along with the head. And vice versa, with the body, the wings and the stick move along with it. That's exactly what we needed. I also realized this stick is too high. We need to bring it below. We need to bring this layer below the head, but above everything else. This way, whenever the stick moves around, it'll be right behind the head. That's what we need. And I think this should be okay for most of the layer organization. Right, I need to make a new layer. Or I need to make a new folder for all of this. Let's go to desktop, because I need to save this. Save into Snoth file. Snoth folder? Snoth folder. Yeah. What am I doing now? Okay. Now that we got the wing, and we got the antenna, and we got the body, and the head, we actually need to make a couple deformers for the head now. We need to make head Y. Oh, I forgot the antenna. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I gotta snag all three of those. Make a big folder and call this one head Y. Put create right there. We're gonna use the control key to move this far enough where it's evened out, but big enough to where it's in a happy medium with the rest of everything else. Which it is not quite there, so we need to move this around a little bit more. No, wait. I don't think this one was ever even. Yeah, this one was never really even, so we just kind of have to eyeball it. So long as it's eyeballed close enough, that's all that really matters. And right there seems good enough. So we'll leave that box right there. And that will be head Y. We're going to make a new deformer for that one, and we're going to call that one head X. And we're going to create it right there. Yeah, that should be good. Actually, you know what? I got a different idea. Yo, Riker, welcome on in. How you be? I hope things are going well. Hope things are good. Sleep those little slices of death once. Oh, let's see. Sleep those little slices of death was a quote at the start of one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's a solid quote right there, not gonna lie. That's a solid quote. They technically are slices of death, because you kind of just pass out and then you're just kind of gone for several hours. That's why I like sleep. Playing Pokemon. Ooh, nice. How is the new Pokemon game? I've seen a couple people playing it here and there. Yeah, that's all I really got to say on that one, because I'm like, I looked at that Pokemon game. It looks all right. I'm not a fan of Mega Dragonite, but it looks all right. I also don't want to pay all that money for a... Okay. For me, it's not even so much paying all that money for a Switch, or for a new Switch. It's more... Well, actually, yeah, it's paying all that money for a new Switch. The other part is also because I know I'm not going to play that Switch. I have the original Switch and I don't even play it. It just sits there collecting dust. I don't even think I've turned the Switch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The last time I played the Switch 1 was when that Suika game came out. The one with the fruit. That's the last time I played my Switch. Oh, it's on both Switches? Oh, you know, that's actually a really smart move right there. Also, ads start in 30 seconds. Ghostface voice. What's your favorite scary movie? Favorite scary movie? That's a good question. Dead silent. Why? Because there's puppets. And ghosts. And they steal your tongue. Alright, let's see. It's on both Switches? Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let me see. What am I trying to do here? Next step. We're also going to make a deformer for the eye. Create that. Just call that eye. Actually, yeah, we need to make the eye deformer for, you know, moving left to right and stuff. Okay. I think that should be everything. Also, I'm thinking about taking X and Y and just deleting those. Just go over here and just go for just the head for this. I'm going to call, actually, the head and the eye. We're going to take those ones. We're going to call this head, Y, still. We're going to remove the antenna. That's basically what I'm trying to do here. We're going to name that next one head X. And there we go. And I'll probably work on everything, you know, adding more deformers to the body later. What I want to do now is actually work on said head, X, and Y. Oh, right. Antenna. Oh, you know what I could do? This is what we're going to do. We're going to get the antennae. Drop it here. Into the head deformer. And now that we got that, we're actually going to warp the size of this here box, but make it, but since it's already evened out, we could actually just adjust the box, hold the control shift, or not control shift, hold the control key for all of this, except for when we're stretching it out to the sides, we're going to hold the control and alt key, or the equivalent on your device, and just pull that one out to the side. This way it just pulls out evenly. And then we're going to just hold control. We can move it up. And right there should be good. Now we got our box. We got our Y box. And we technically have our X box. Let's save before I forget. Now we're going to go to our head Y and actually start working on actually moving stuff around. And here's how we're going to go about it. We got this thing down here called deform or parameters. These little dials over here where you see that little dot, it moves to the right, moves to the left, all of that sort of stuff. But as you can clearly tell, nothing's happening right now. That's because we have not registered any of these deformers to those little dials over there. We haven't registered any of those boxes, but we're going to do that right now. And it's very, very simple. Make sure you have the right box selected. Make sure you have the right deformer. We're going with head Y for this one. So we're going to go with angle Y for the other side. Once you have it selected on your deformer tab, that's up here, and your parameter tab down here, you're going to see some dots. We're going to go to the top up here of the tab, and you're going to see a bunch of options, a bunch of dots. 2 dots, 3 dots, no dots. whatever this is, or you're going to see all of that. It's very easy. Just click on, for this case, we're just going to click on the 3 dots right here. And you're going to notice something. Keep an eye on this part with the dial. Keep an eye on this part with the dial right here. When we click on those 3 dots, something's going to change with those dials. Let's click on those right now. In 3, 2, 1. As you can see, we got a red dot and 3 green dots. What do those stand for? Well, that just stands for the fact that the Y deformer is registered to the Y angle. So, that means everything moves now, right? Nope. Not yet. What this simply means is that we got to... How do I put this one? This is the part where things get a little tricky. It becomes more like programming. Because in order for things to move, we got to do that ourselves. That's what these warp deformers are for. That's what the head Y is for over here. We're going to show you right now. If we want the Y deformer to actually move around. Oh, right. Before we actually do that, make sure that you take that red circle and you move it in one of those directions, whether it be to the right or left or to the right. In this case, we're moving it to the right. And for the Y angle, that means up. Now we actually go to this green box and move it around a little bit. We're going to be a little lazy about this and just shape this, warp this however we like, just so I could show you just how mangled and how crazy you could get with this stuff. It doesn't have to look like that, but this is what it's going to look like. Now that we made that shape, you're going to see something. We drag it back to the middle, goes back to normal. And move it to the right, turns into that shape. And that's exactly how this whole live 2D stuff works. But first, we're going to fix this all back up. We're going to move it back over there. And we're going to actually try with this. We're just going to drag it up a little bit. Take the top squares up here. Move them down a little. Remove that box entirely. Take this middle portion. Drag it up. Just move things around until we got the shape that we're looking for. Right there should be good. For the most part, this shape should be okay. And now, that is our Y angle for our live 2D model. Now it looks up whenever we need to look up. And yo, Mr. Bean, welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give you a shout out. Folks, go check out Mr. Bean. They play good variety games. How was the stuff? I hope it went well. I hope you had a lot of fun with the Dragon Ball. Hey, a new game. How's it? Or yeah, I hope you had fun with that. And everybody stopping by from Mr. Bean's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. Yes, the bug is the streamer. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We're currently, well, technically live 2D rigging now. We just finished off drawing this here moth bug, snow moth, and we're currently in the stages of rigging it. So I hope y'all had a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed your stay. And if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. How was the Dragon Ball? It was fun. Got 2 main quests finished. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that one. Oh, right. Let me catch up with the rest of the reading. I forgot. All right, let's see. Sleep and Nightmare on Elm Street Slices. Gotcha. Great choice. Mine is Child's Play. Also a good movie. I haven't played, or I haven't watched a lot of the Chucky movies, but still a good movie. All right, let me see. What on earth am I trying to do now? Okay, so we have the up angle, but we don't have the down angle. So we're going to take this red dot, or this red circle, and we're going to drag it all the way over to the left side now. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're actually going to go to angle Y, or head Y. Drag the head down a bit. Go to this X on the side of the red square, so we can actually adjust the middle part however we see fit, like so. Also, you're probably looking at this part where it shows the sharp angle, and you're probably thinking, I don't want that sharp angle. How do I get rid of it? I'm going to show you right here. You go to Inspector tab, on the left side of your entire program, on the left side, you see the inspector. You'll see all of these dots. Don't worry about, or all of these things. Don't worry about that. Scroll until you see Bezier edit type. And then click on that. And you'll see a bunch of new tabs. Those might also look intimidating. You're currently on retain control structure, which means it doesn't really warp. Or, okay, it warps, but it doesn't really smoothen anything out. It's very, very rigid. If we want to fix that, we just go to smooth, 1, 2, or 3. Specifically 1 in this case. Just click on that. Go to that circle in the middle. And boom, it'll line up. We're going to do the same thing over here. Boom, lined up. And lined up like so. And after that, it just becomes a state of just warping things however you see fit. However you feel like it needs to be warped. And there we go. We got our down angle and we got our up angle. Okay, so now that we got that, let's save. And now it's time to work on angle X. And we're also going to select the antenna for this one. Actually, you know what? Just angle X. We'll start with angle X, then we work with the antenna. And same as before. We got angle X, or we got head X in the deform tab. And we got angle X in the parameter tab. We click on that head or angle X. Go to the tab that shows 3 green dots. Click on those green dots. Move it to the right. Oh, let's also select the antenna, because we have to register that one to the said angle as well. Click on those 3 green dots, and boom, there we go. Now let's select over here. Select them both. We just move it to the right. Let's go to angle X one more time. Remove that. Take that center part, move it to the right. And I'm also going to show you a little trick about how you can give it a sense of perspective. Because right now, the perspective may not be looking ideal to you. And that's okay. We're going to fix that right now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to select 4 of the lines on the right side. We're going to select those ones. Actually, you know what? Not even 4 lines on the right side. We're going to select the first 3 lines on the right side over here. We're just going to squish them inwards. Just a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit. And we select all 4. Squish it again, just a little bit more. Take these 3 square, or yeah, go to the right side, or left side, that's the one. Go to the left side of it, and stretch out the left side a little bit. Something like that. And that should give us the angle and the perspective that, yeah, the body is more so tilted in a certain direction, giving it a sense that you see more of the, how do I put it? If it's moved to the left, like you could see with the Lampy and the bird model, you'll see more of the right side of the face than you would the left side. That's the perspective we're trying to get here. Can we power scale Lampy? Is he street level, city level, or mountain? Okay, a singular Lampy is street level. A group of Lampies is probably city level. The lamp that is with Lampy, that's probably also city level. Maybe mountain. Not too strong, but... Okay, let me put it to you this way. The Lampies aren't that strong. That nuclear lamp over there, if accidentally damaged, that would probably be catastrophic. Okay, so now that we got our effect on the head, and we got that going on, here's the thing that we need to do. You're probably looking at this and thinking, okay, that seems solid. Oh, right. Actually, we're not quite done yet, because What I also want to do, I don't want to take this top corner over here and just move that closer to the center. Maybe a little bit of this point as well. Just move those points. The top and bottom edge, or the top and bottom corner, move them closer to the center. This way, it gives it less of a square shape. It actually feels like everything's tilting, if that makes any sense. Or, you know, that it's actually turning. That's the word I'm looking for. So what I'm hearing is, you can solo Goku. Let's be honest, everybody can solo Goku. Goku doesn't put in his 100% when he needs to. Goku is gonna hold back, and that's why he loses. That and the plot needs him to, because it's not enough suspense if Goku just one-shots everybody. I said it before, and I'll say it again, with the argument of who's stronger, Goku or Superman. Okay, granted, again. Or who would win in a fight, Goku or Superman? Superman would probably win that fight, mostly because two reasons. One, Superman isn't designed for the shonen fights. And two, Goku, because he's designed for the shonen fights, has to lose first. And more importantly, if we're taking all of that away, he's gonna lose because it's Dragon Ball. Goku and his team always lose. And two, it's because he just doesn't focus. Like, barely. Again, you saw it with Cell. You saw it with Majin Buu. You kind of saw it with Frieza. Yeah, you saw it with Frieza. I think the only time where he did not or where he was 100% full focused was both Nappa and Vegeta. Granted, he still kind of lost that fight with Vegeta if his team didn't roll on in. But yeah, with Nappa, he did not hold back. He literally crippled him. Turned him into a paraplegic in that same fight that he met him. Superman just needs to not hold back. That too. Because Superman is going to hold back by a lot because he doesn't want to kill a person. Because, again, let's be honest, most of Superman's villains, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, were usually, you know, earthbound. Lex Luthor, Metallo, Toyman. I'm trying to remember. Or some other villains that he had. Well, if you want to go with the cartoons, Livewire. A lot of them were very human, so punching them as if he was trying to, you know, win the fight would have been... For the lack of a better term, you would not have been able to show that in a cartoon. You would not have been able to show Superman going full force on a person in a cartoon. Because, yeah. Still, point being is, Superman has a similar issue to Goku. Similar, I say similar mostly because both of them hold back, but they hold back for different reasons. Superman holds back because he doesn't want to kill you. Goku holds back because he doesn't want you... Well, actually, you know what? I take it back. Goku also doesn't want to kill you because he wants to have fun with this. He could Saitama a lot of villains, I believe, but he doesn't want it to just end. Again, I think they mentioned that in the Buu saga, where when Goku turned Super Saiyan 3, he could have ended Buu easily, but he was like, nah. Actually, I take it back. He didn't say that he didn't want to end it there because, you know, it wouldn't have been worth the fight. He didn't want to end it there because, you know, he knew he was going to be gone. It was for the next generation to handle this fight. If they can't handle it, you know, then the Earth is doomed anyway. Still, Doesn't excuse all the other times. Like, Goku not fighting, or, you know. You know what I mean. I was gonna say, like, I think I remember Goku saying he couldn't beat Cell. But he wanted to at least try. And then he was like, yep, I'm done. Either way, point being is, Goku is built as a shonen character. If you want to go, you know, meta, Goku's a shonen character. They don't win first bat. Unless it's Saitama. Whereas Superman is, you know, more Western comic book hero. It's less about winning and more so, how are they going to be able to catch the villain and, you know, save the civilians at the same time? That's the one thing that I will say, that's the one thing that I feel like the Western comics have lost over time, is that, you know, heroes used to be, you know, heroes. The fight is important, but more importantly is saving the civilians. Like, if there's going to be, you know, casualties, you know, most of the Western superheroes, but, well, maybe not Marvel. Take it back. I don't know if Marvel was all about that sort of stuff. I know DC kind of went down that road, but Marvel, unless it was Spider-Man, I don't know if they really did all of that stuff. I take it back. If anything, because considering the fact that they had the Hulk and Wolverine, I mean, Wolverine kind of, but more so the Hulk. The Hulk was definitely not one of those heroes where it's like, I either beat the villain or catch the villain, or I save the people. It was more like Hulk smash. Unless it was specific people that he was close to, I think. I'm not entirely 100% certain. Either way, point being is, I don't know where I was going with this. Anyway, let me catch up with the reading. Big question. Oh, big question is, can Lampy solo One Punch Man? No one can solo One Punch Man. You can only escape One Punch Man. And only if the writers think it's funny. If it's not funny to escape One Punch Man, then yeah, it's over for you. So to answer your question, unless it's really, really funny to get away with it, then the closest Lampy's getting to soloing One Punch Man is annoying the ever-living bejesus out of him until getting away at the end of the story. But if it's a full-on fight, yeah, no, Lampy's just gonna be a bloodstain over there on a building. Like every other villain that he faced. Mosquito over Saitama. Exactly. Superman just okay, so I saw that part. Sad fact proven in Superman lore. Without kryptonite or magic, Superman doesn't really lose. Exactly. Superman, unless you're looking at the Injustice universe, in which case Superman, Jesus, they nerfed Superman in the Injustice universe to Kingdom Come, where he's losing to everybody unless one of his allies comes in to save the day. Lantern Corps absolutely was demolishing Superman in that Injustice story. If it weren't for, I forgot who. I know there was a character that got into his head and started stabbing his brain with a kryptonite needle or something. And the only reason why Superman got out of that situation was, I think it was Sinestro. Don't quite remember. Superman is a man living in a world of cardboard. Exactly. Tissue paper. That too. Look at a Superman versus Darkseid to see him not holding back. True. He still lost that fight, though. As a Superman fan, I'm not going to deny he lost that fight. And I'm also not going to deny Superman loses a lot of fights. Again, holding back a lot. Or he's in the Injustice universe, in which case he kind of sucks. Interesting character. But power-wise, he kind of sucks. Okay. In some of the most OP comics, Kal-El sneezed and destroyed a planet. Hey, just like Saitama. Let's see. Justice League cartoon. Also true. Well, I know about the Justice League cartoon one. I already know about that one. That's why I said he still lost that fight. Like, Superman punched Darkseid like crazy, showed what power he had, and then Darkseid hit him with, like, some sort of device that sent his pain receptors into overdrive. And only, got out of that situation because Lex Luthor showed up with the anti-life equation, or something like that, and kind of killed himself and Darkseid at the same time. Or got them stuck in the source wall, something like that. I don't exactly remember how it ended exactly. All I know is that Lex Luthor got rid of himself and Darkseid. Now who's the DC nerd? All right, now what on earth was I doing again? Oh, right, now that we got that, I'm going to show you how this works. Source wall? There you go, source wall then. Okay, so let's say we just got the left side made. We fixed all of that up, but now we have to do... Oh, we fixed up the right side. We adjusted it to how we wanted it, but now we have to do the same thing for the left side. Now, how on earth do we make the left side look exactly like how we did with the right side? We could probably go through all the steps that I just showed you God knows how many minutes ago, and it still wouldn't be exactly the same, but I have a solution for you. Make sure you have all the items that you wanted selected. Make sure that you have it on the side that you just fixed up. From there, you then go to this top right box here, where it shows the 3 lines. Click on those 3 lines. You're going to see a bunch of tabs pop up. You're going to see all sorts of things. Just scroll down until you see Reflect Motion. Click on said Reflect Motion. We're also going to have to go back to the tutorial screen for this one. And again, we see another tab. A lot of intimidating words. A lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that the basic settings is on Reflect Horizontally, and that's about it. You're probably thinking, wait, that's it? You mean you do nothing? Yeah. Just click OK. And now that we clicked OK, we're just going to drag this over to the left side, and as you will see, it moves. It moves! Well, the antennae doesn't move, but that's okay. We'll fix up the antennae right now. Let's actually go to set antenna. Move it all the way back to the right side. Move this just a little bit closer to the head. Rotate it a little bit. Move it up like so. Actually, not move it up. Just rotate it a bit. Move it to the right. Something like that. Actually, no, not even that. Just move it. Right here should be good. Take this side. Or take the side of the box. Maybe not the whole box. Just maybe the first 4 rows on the right. Push that in a little bit. Close that box. Move this over a little more. Actually, just adjust it however you see fit to fit the build that you're looking for said warp deformer. That should be okay for now. And we repeat the process. Go to those 3 lines, click on that, go to Reflect Motion. Just put OK and that's it. Move it to the right. Oh wait, actually, I take it back because I forgot. This is an antenna. We do not do that here. We actually leave it as is. We do not reflect it this time. We just move it to the left. And we have to manually adjust this antenna a separate way. Because I just realized something. This, well, one, reflecting everything wouldn't really work this time around because it's not a perfectly symmetrical or centered image. So if we did the reflection for that antenna leaf, it really wouldn't adjust or fix anything, as you saw earlier when we did all of that. So this one, we just actually have to just move it to the side, adjust it manually again. No reflect motion. Just adjust it how you see fit. Move this a little bit closer. And this is essentially just the part where we just move everything around as we see fit to make it look believable. And that part ain't quite believable enough. But let's just move it a little bit closer to the center, or move it a little bit closer to the right. It moves too much there. We're going to squish this in. We're still going to move it a little more like so. Maybe rotate a little bit. Yeah, that should be okay. Besides, we're going to use a warp, or not warp. We're going to, we're going to use a couple of warp deformers to fix that up anyhow. Source wall? Yeah. This Lampy lesson is the only thing that's keeping me sane on this phone call with this customer. I'm sorry to hear that there, friend. I hope that it gets easier, or at least I hope that the phone call, ends soon. Because, yeah, that sounds rough. Not gonna lie. This is why I'm glad I never got into customers. Well, I kind of did, but I'm glad I didn't get into that kind of customer service. Because on one hand, for the employees, that's very rough. Because you got to deal with all of that. On the customer's perspective, it's also pretty rough because they're probably frustrated. They're probably mad about something, which isn't your fault, and they take it out on you because you're the one they have to talk to about this, and you're the one that they go to fix the problem. And if you can't fix the problem because of one thing or another, they get mad at you because they are, again, frustrated with the situation they're in, and you did not help them with their situation, regardless of whether you could or not. And that is painful to deal with for both sides. But since it's not really you that made the problem, that's the even worse part, is that they are mad, understandably so, but they are mad at you, which very much sucks, because you didn't do it. You're not the reason they're mad. But you're in the line of fire. Hence the reason this is your job, to be in the line of fire. You're technically... Oh my god, you're technically the meat shield. I apologize for saying that. You didn't hear that part. I am a meat shield? Oh, well, at least, so long as we're all on the same page, then. Give me snacks? Okay, you know what? Because of the possibility of that shocking realization, you know what? I'm not gonna hark you on that one. You know what? Go for them snacks. There's one time, though. There's one time. Also, Alice, thank you for the save. I greatly appreciate it. And welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Alice. Very funny streams. Go check them out. They also commissioned, they also gave me the honor to draw their wolf creature thing. Wolf fox No, wait, if I'm correct, it was like a spirit fox? Go check them out. Oh, you're playing Dead Space? Nice. How's been the Dead Space? Alright, let me catch up some things. I'm gonna eat my hand? Fair enough, fair enough. Super underpaid therapist at that point. Yeah, honestly, other humans just isn't worth the pay anymore. Yeah. This is why when people, people say like, okay, so funny story. Someone actually told me that despite me saying that, socializing and, being social was overrated, they said, I'm surprised. You seem like a very social person. I'm like, I mean, technically, I was. My response to that one was, I mean, technically, there was a time where I was very, very social. It took a lot of trial and even more error. It took some trial and a lot of error. Those were the words. Thank you for the Spirit Fox mascot. Good, but... Oh, let's see. Good but freaky. Almost cried last stream. For good reasons, right? For good reasons? I hope for good reasons. I hope somebody hit you with a hype train or something. Alright, let's see. I love fixing issues, but sometimes I'll get a call where I just have a customer venting the whole... their whole life story. Oh, you got the trauma dump from customer service, or during customer service. I'm sorry there, Quee. Only on stream and at work. Fair, fair. You seem like a very social person. Looks at Lampy's shotgun pointed at me. Yeah, very social. Oh, for spooky reasons. Ah, understandable, understandable. I'm assuming it was Dead Space then. Also fair. I wish it was for a train. Also fair. Also understandable. You know what that means there, folks. Folks, go check out, or go find Alice the Spirit Star. Go find Alice the Spirit. Start a hype train. Alright, so now that we got that part, we got the head angles, we got the Y angles, and also, folks, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you why we make the head and Y angles separate, because this way, the Y angle... Oh, you know what? Actually, I could show you this right now. Let's actually go to Y angle. Well, actually, that wouldn't exactly work. I got an idea. I'm going to show you with the body. Let's say we have one deformer. And we take that deformer. We take X and Y. Yo, Noobles. Welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to Noobles. Go check out Spicy Noobles. They play good variety games. Really funny times over there. Really unique model. Really great people. Yeah, just overall really great people. And I hope you're having a good week. So, I'm going to show you what happens when we take a singular deformer and we add them to two different dials over here. Two different parameters. Let's start with X. And I'm going to make this very lazily. Just going to move this to the side, like so. Take the box, move it a little bit. Reflect that motion. And then we're going to go to the Y angle. Move this up a little bit. Move that all the way up. Bring this down. Drag that down a little bit. Like I said, very lazily. Now, we got the left, we got the right, and we got the up, and we got the down. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, we got left and right, and we got up and down registered. So if we move it down, and we move it to the right, it went back to normal. What happened? Why did it just go back to normal? The head angle worked. Or yeah, the head deformers worked. Why didn't it work for the body? I'm going to show you right quick. Because we're actually going to have to zoom in on this one. You see, we got 3 and 3, 6 dials in total, 4 different directions. We move it to the right, you'll see that's one of those directions. We move it up, we moved it to the left and up, so it should go, to the top right corner, right? Well, that's the thing. If we take these two angles and we link them together using this little dial up here that says link, click on that, you will notice that we have left, we have right, we have up, we have down, but now we have 4 new corners, new dials, new dots, and we have never registered those dots. Therefore, they have nothing. They go back to normal because they have the same changes as the middle because we never did anything with those 4. So we're going to delete all of that. And now I can show you with angle Y. Actually, let's go with head X. Head X, you see that it only has up, or it only has those 3 directions. And if we go to angle Y, it also only has those 3 directions. And since they are not registered to one another, and they are only registered to one angle, they don't actually have corners. It's kind of like being on perpendicular lines, if that makes any sense. Also, for those of you that don't know what perpendicular... Wait, if I'm correct, it's perpendicular? No, wait. Parallel. I think it's parallel. Perpendicular is the ones where they finally actually cross and they meet. Parallel lines mean they are going in similar directions and they will never cross paths. Like an equal sign or something. Or a perpendicular line eventually becomes an X. Or a triangle. So yeah, also Tosuke, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Tosuke. I saw that new model that Carmi made for you. That thing looks amazing. Go check them out. Really awesome people. Really funny. They also do music. I did not know about that part. Or I might have forgotten about that part. Okay, let's catch up with some stuff. As I know I missed a lot of messages. Yeah, you were right. Yeah. Start a hype train over there. Oh, Lord. If... Started for you instead? Nah. We don't need a hype train here. Forever. Never start a hype train here. Dead Space? Yeah, Dead Space. Still need to play the new Dead Space, but I'm a cheap ass and holding out for it to be $5 or $10. Wait for Christmas sale, it'll eventually hit. I think, maybe. Listening to customer about their life story, making blanket while they rent. Honestly, fair. Fair enough indeed. Remake? Remake. Nice. Thank you so much. Love it as well. Yeah. This is a really great model. Okay. I forgot what I was supposed to be explaining, but we're going to explain the last bit of it before I call it a day because... I need to go get food. I need to get something to drink. I might need a bit of a walk. And my brain is absolutely fried. So, we're going to call it in a little bit. But before we call it, I forgot to say one other thing. Folks, I will be back tomorrow. There's going to be a collab tomorrow for Night Rain. It's going to involve an Unholy Requiem as well as a Feastiari. They both play a lot of Souls-like games. And I should probably, you know what? I'm probably going to post that that clip on the other socials so people know what they're getting themselves into. Because just so you can see what it's going to, or yeah, what those two are all about, how the dynamic works, and Well, since it's Night Rain, I'm probably not going to troll as much as I did in Elden Ring, because with Elden Ring, you know, there's a little bit of time. We had all the time in the world. Why not troll a little bit? In Night Rain, you know, we don't really have that luxury of time. So, and, you know, messing around there harms everybody, including myself. So yeah, that just doesn't work. So no trolling as much as I'd like to in Night Rain, because time is of the essence. Ain't nobody got time for that. Regular Elden Ring, though, oh, I'm a troll. Like that time when I tossed a bear at them. Or chased a bear in their general direction. Great times. Anyway, let me see. What was I talking about again? Oh, yeah. So, there are some things that we do need to work on when it comes to the angles of the head, though. For example, we're actually going to need to make 3 dots on angle Y. Or, not on angle Y. We're going to need to take head Y and actually make 3 dots for this angle here to round things out a little bit. We're actually just going to take this top half and just round out the body just a little bit. Like so. And right there should be good. Now all we just need to do is just reflect that motion one more time. On angle X, not angle Y, even though it's on head Y. We're also going to need to work on the eyes later. You know what? Let's work on the eyes right now. Let's go over here, go specifically to eye. We're going to put, not angle Y, let's put angle X. Just move it over to the right like so. Go over here, move it over to the right like so. Maybe squish it just a little bit. There we go. Now let's see what the angles look when we move it over to the sides like so. Kind of. We're also going to rotate a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. That should be good. All right. Let's see. We're talking about accepting the... No, we were not talking about accepting the cult. That ain't happening. Restwell Lampy made the cult be... No cult. Y'all leave that cult stuff alone. I ain't listening to this cult nonsense. I've seen it at about 11 or 12 bucks, almost there. Yeah, getting there slowly but surely. You got this there. You got this there, Tron. Just a little more time. So good. I hope after the spooks you like it. True. Story's kind of hot garbage, though. Okay, in comparison to the original, story's a little hot garbage. And that's just a personal opinion on that one. If you like the updates to the Dead Space remake, if you like the new updates to Hammond and Kendra and Isaac and stuff, I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, the additions to Isaac, I'm okay with those. Because we kind of know Isaac as a character now, so adding that to the remake, I think that's okay. They still did my boy Hammond dirty. They did him more dirty than they did in the original game. They did him a little dirty in the original game. Not gonna explain for obvious reasons, but yeah. But I'm gonna say, like, personally, I liked Hammond better in the original. And know that I personally believe that that's not one of those nostalgia factors, because I know a lot of people that liked the original and said they improved on Hammond, and I just feel like I'm just the odd bug out, because I feel like I'm one of the few that will say, nah, bring back old Hammond. I have my reasons. but I'm not going to explain them because I know someone's playing Dead Space right now. But yeah. Anyway. Kendra's alright, though. Alright, let's see. In my opinion, it's fun for you to have something reliable to complain about, hence the ever-present cult wish. Fair enough, fair enough. It's not happening. But fair enough. Okay, so, now that we got the angles on everything here, I might work on the eyes a bit later, because, not gonna lie, when it goes there, and then it rotates there, it's a little odd. You know what? Y angle. Just gonna bring this down a little bit. Just gonna adjust these angles a little bit because they're not quite the shape that I want them to be. Right there should be about good. And now we reflect this whole sucker. Reflect motion. Much better, but at the same time, the head is turning okay, but there's no neck. So we need to adjust a few more things. Let's go back to head X. And here's what we're going to do. We're just going to rotate this entire sucker. Bring it down a little bit. Reflect motion. Okay, we can't do it that way. Leave it up there. Reflect motion. So we got that head part, and I think that works. But now we just need to figure out what on earth we're trying to do with everything else there. Also, I think we're just going to take this entire antenna, put it into head X. So when it rotates, boom. Okay, maybe not. We're not going to put that one into head angle X. We'll just adjust that one on our own. Normally. Naturally. Kind of. Oh, there we go. That looks much more natural. Kind of. But okay, reflect that motion, because I completely forgot what I was saying. Not the antenna. That's not the one I meant. Head X. I think this was the one that I was trying to reflect first. As well as head angle Y. I think that's also a good one to reflect. Try that again. But okay. And folks, this is why Live 2D is complicated. This is why people charge a lot of money for Live 2D. Granted. 8K, 10K, 3K for a model. That may also sound like a lot of money. But I want to say it depends. It depends, because... I mean, if you're going for, like, one of those high-end like those really high-end, really, well-known Live 2D model makers, then... yeah, it's gonna cost a pretty penny, because it's not just the model that they're making, which, by the way, the model that they're making is usually really high-end detail, months and months and months of work trying to get every little part of the rig just right. But it's also the name that's behind it. It's like owning a brand. For example, let me see. What would be a good example? Oh, you know what? It's like a Bentley. Bentley? Bentley. It's like owning a Bentley. In comparison to owning a Ford truck. Both of them are vehicles. One gets you, yeah, they both get you from point A to point B, but one of them is about the style. One of them is about the brand. And that's what the really, really expensive Live 2D models are also about, because, well, one, yes, a gajillion layers, months and months of work, God knows how many toggles on top of all of that, but also the name behind it. Someone hears, okay, I'm gonna put it to you this way. Trying to think, what would be a good name for, or yeah, what would be a good example of a Live 2D, someone who does Live 2D rigs that have a good name standing. Okay, not gonna lie, that part is kind of tough because a lot of the names that have been going into, a lot of the big names have all had their own controversies. So it's really hard to say, you know, one name is this, and then compare that name to one of these really big ones over there, because let's be honest, there's also those moments where it's like, oh yeah, I've heard of that person. Oh yeah, I've also heard of that, and I heard of that, and I've heard they've done this, and I've also heard about that part, and it's like, oh, you know what? Let me just find one of the agencies. Like, those agencies have some really high-end rigs. Oh, riggers? Yeah, they are the, whatchamacallit? The people that make the models move. The puppeteering and all of that stuff. Technically, Carmi does the rigging. Oh, let's see. I saw some of the rigging stuff. That's a bit crazy. Spending a month, 30 hours a week on one model rigging. Yeah, exactly. That sort of stuff. When it comes to that situation, when it comes to that case, it makes sense why that would be a lot of money. And as you can see, this is a simple model. This here is a simple model. So, of course, that would be... Oh yeah, I meant there were riggers with drama. Yeah, there was at least 3 that I could think of at the moment. Actually, 3 that I know of that had big controversies. Okay, well, maybe not big, but... Okay, 2 of them had some really big controversies. The third one, it's not too big of a deal, but it's technically considered a controversy. Okay, well, actually, maybe it's kind of a... I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, there's some of them that have gotten into some of them that have gotten into muddy water. I'm not going to get into the details for obvious reasons. One of the one of the main rules in this channel is no drama. So I'm not going to get into the details. I will only say that, you know, it happens sometimes. That's the best I can really say. Oh, let's see. WWF World Wildlife allowed World Wrestling Federation to share the WWF until wrestlers broke the contract. Wait, there was a contract? Also, yo, EB, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to EB. If you haven't checked out the EB, I highly recommend that you do. They do a lot of arting, and they also got a lot of adoptable models and all of that stuff. Go check them out when you get the chance. Also, going back to it, controversies of those riggers are not important. The point being was, there's a lot of, when it comes to a lot of the Live 2D rigging and when it comes to a lot of the cost, it's usually because there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of toggles, and there's a brand name behind it. There's a big name, a name with a reputation. Therefore, that reputation means if you have one of their models, people are gonna... There's a high chance that people might come by to check you out. Will they stick around? Well, that's entirely up to you. That determines on you. As another example, I will say, I have seen this example where there was one person, one person, they got a Live 2D model. It was a HoloLive, streamer. By the way, no controversy, we're not going to talk, or how do I put it? There's no bad story behind this one. It's not like, oh yeah, this person got that, but... The thing I'm saying here is that there was one person that made model art and rigs, and they got, well, the model artist and I think the rigger, or mostly the model artist, they made it big because one of the models they made managed to, for the lack of a better term, it managed to blow up because that model was for one of those HoloLive streamers, one of them HoloLive idols, also known as Amelia Watson, and a lot of other people wanted to get models from them because, you know, who wouldn't want to be, who wouldn't want their model, or how many people would not want their model made by someone who made a HoloLive model? Am I right? Did they have the same success? Not all of them. I think only one of them had the same success as, the HoloLive streamer that had that model art. Everyone else... Now, this ain't a bad thing, but it is a thing that happened, is a lot of other people that got the same model art, they got it. And people paid attention. But it didn't, blow up like the first two did. If that makes any sense. But that's not the point. The point being is the name behind the artist or the rig is what gets people to want those models and rigs, and therefore they are able to charge more for that because, supply and demand. People want a lot of that demand, but they can only work on so many models. So the supply is low, the demand is high, and therefore that's how they end up with very high prices on their models. Those that can pay are willing to pay, and those who can't are, usually just filtered out, if that makes any sense. Anyway, the reason I bring all of that up is this is why people charge a lot when it comes to live 2D models. But do not worry, do not fret. If you're thinking, so what you're saying is, I need to spend $3,000 to $5,000 to $30,000 for a live 2D model? Absolutely not. Like I said, a lot of that is from the brand name and from the high demand of features on said model. If you just want a simple model, like just bare bones, bare minimum model, or even like a small, simple model like the snowman over there, then you could probably commission a small-time artist, small-time rigger to make said model for you for like... Oh, ad break. Perfect timing, ad break. Anyway. Let me just add this right quick. There we go. Perfect. So, under normal circumstances, you could usually probably get a live 2D model between... Yeah, you could probably get a live 2D model somewhere between $100 at the very, very lowest, but it's probably going to be the very, very bare minimum, and maybe even a mascot-shaped model, to the average being around $700 to $1,500. And at the very, very most, maybe $2K. I know, $2K sounds like a lot for a Model 2 as well, when you really think about it. But there are some people that really want that model. So yeah, that's where was I going with this? Oh, right. Here, that's the reason why the models are usually like around 800 to 2K. Because it takes a lot of tedious work just to get X and Y movement. And even then, we're still not even properly set up with this, because I feel like with the X movement, or with the Y movement, gotta rotate this a little bit more. Maybe try to find a proper spot for that part. But even then, it's gonna be a little difficult to pull off. This part is the part I really need to figure out, because it feels very disconnected, especially from this point. You know what? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just need to take that center point and just drag the head down. Maybe that's what I really need to do, is just drag this head down a little bit more. Like here, maybe? Looks weird, a little weird, but maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at a different time. You can give it a stick neck. Oh, you know what? That's genius. That's genius there, EB. All right. Let me catch up with a lot of things. One of them once said, I miss old rigging days when it was more magic instead of repetitive stuff on everything little cloth piece. Oh, you know what? Honestly, yeah, that too. Because I will agree with that one. Like, as Live 2D went on, as the VTubing went on, more and more things got more and more dynamic. The more expressive, the more dynamic, the more fantastical the rigs became. And with that, the more work was put on rigging itself. Because, I mean, there was a reason why a lot of Live 2D riggers were just looking at a lot of this stuff, and whenever something new, something brand new and epic that a lot of streamers and VTubers saw and thought, oh my god, that looks amazing, that looks awesome, I want that for my model. You see, you know full well that the people that made the Live 2D rigs are looking at that thinking, oh no, I have to do that now. Case in point, one of those many examples, when the walking animation happened. When they started adding walking animations to models, you know full well a lot of people were looking at that thinking, wow, you can make the Live 2D model walk now? I want that for mine. And whoever had to rig that was probably thinking, oh no, great, now I have to learn how to make the models walk. Then the lean rolled on in. Great, now we have to learn how to make the lean. Then the what's the other word I'm looking for? Then V-Bridger came out. Surprisingly enough, that one wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Still, more features to add to the rig. And the list goes on. Granted, they look a whole lot better than they did before, but still, that's still a lot of work. Hence the reason why things got more expensive. That is a big message. There's also people would pay extra to shackle artists to work for them exclusively. Yeah, that too. I mean, if you could get... Okay, I've heard of exclusivity deals, and I've also heard why some people take them, because supply and demand. And other reasons why people don't take them, because you kind of get tired of working on the same thing over and over and over again. You kind of need a little bit of variety. So I can see why some people don't take the exclusivity deals, because if you're just working on that one person's work all the time, you're gonna eventually get bored. You're gonna want to find a new outlet. I think what Carmi made is already slightly on the higher side. Most definitely, most definitely. I've seen Carmi's work. They do some really phenomenal rigs. That's why I can't wait to see what Carmi does when they finally make a 2.0. Because you know that's eventually going to happen. And from what I've heard, the skills that they had when they worked on their first model, the current one that they're currently working with, or the current one that they're using, I heard that one, does not reflect their actual work anymore. Which makes me wonder what it's going to look like when Carmi works on that 2.0. I've seen some very nice pre-made models for maybe $40. Very gorgeous in some cases, but not exclusive. True, true, true. And then you got the what's that one? The Suica model? That customizable live... I've seen some customizable live 2D models out there too, and yeah, those are some pretty phenomenal works out there. And luckily, it didn't do the thing that a lot of people were afraid it was going to do, which was take a lot of work away from, you know, model makers, model artists, those that do the rigging and all that stuff. A lot of people were worried that, you know, they weren't going to get any work anymore. But it was a cool model. There's a lot of people that still use it, but they still just use it for a stand-in until they can actually get their own actual customized model. Because let's be honest, a customizable model is cool, but there's a lot of folks that still want, you know, what can't be made from a customizable model. So that people eventually, they stick with that one until they can get the model that they really, really want. With that being said, that does not take away from the absolute... Okay, that still doesn't take away from the fact that that model, that customizable model, like, holy cow, all the features, all the toggles, all the different add-ons and takeaways that you could put on that thing. That obviously, there was a reason why that one was very, very popular, because it practically had it all. But yeah, we need to add a stick for a neck onto this model. I got an idea how we can make that work. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Just use one of the arms, just duplicate an arm, just tack that right there. Boom, stick. All right, let's see. I like the lean. Oh. I like the lean. Is the snowman... Oh, is the snowman gonna lean? I mean, it is a Mothman. Maybe. I will consider it. I mean, some riggers even enjoyed figuring out how to do some stuff. True, true, true. See, that's the thing. Like, figuring out some stuff. That is some pretty... Yeah, that's some pretty cool stuff. Like, if you're trying to think, how can I make this done? How can I get this done? Or, you know, you see some things like, okay, so that person did that. How can I do that too? Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. There's just some moments where, you know, I think I remember someone put it simply, which I will say that I also have an opinion on that point of view, where they said that the more and more people make these amazing things, the more and more it's expected to be a standard to most models. And I will say, I said this before back then, and I'll say it now, that if you're thinking, oh no, this is going to be a standard, don't forget that you should probably not add it as a standard, if that makes any sense. If a new feature comes out and a lot of people want that new feature, don't just toss it onto the model. You let them know, like, okay, I see the new feature that you want. I understand. That's also still going to add more work on top of the project. So I'm going to have to charge extra for that. Are you okay with that part? If they say sure, well, you better hope that you made a fair price for yourself as well, because if not, that's still going to be more work than it's worth. And if they don't accept it, well, now you don't have to do it. That's basically it. All right, let's see. Sounds dumb, but a straw hat which goes up and down. A straw hat? Wait, what are we talking about, straw hat? Add a straw hat to the Mothman model, or what part are we talking about? View from bottom, view... Oh, view from bottom to view from top. Wait, are we talking about the Strawman model? That birthday art I was making for someone involved engineering and a walking animation, and I kind of luckily figured out a good technique. Ah, fair, fair, fair. Wait, are we talking about... Oh yeah, the walking. I get what you mean now. Yeah. At least you figured out a technique. That's good, that's good. Yeah, I kind of thought the Suica model was a gateway to get people into VTubing easier than later. Oh, then later people might upgrade instead of abandoning VTubing before they get started. Yeah, exactly. Actually, you know what? That's actually an even better... That's actually a pretty good way to look at it. I didn't even consider it that way. That's actually pretty genius. Oh, just in general, if you wanted to rig a straw hat side, then... Oh, when the head is tilting in front. Oh, gotcha. I understand what you mean now. When it's tilting in front, shows the top of the hat. When tilting in the back, it shows the bottom. Yeah. Now I just need to figure out how to do that with the stick. I got an idea. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get this part, and then I'm going to call it a night. Whoops. We're going to get this. We're going to reflect, or yeah, we're going to copy stick. We're going to paste stick. But we're going to make stick part of the body. We're just going to rotate this sucker. Place it right here. Make a deformer for all of it. Actually, you know what? No. I think I got an idea for this. Okay, we're going to hide the head from... Actually, no, don't hide the head. Just going to rotate this a little bit. A little more right there. And we squish this sucker a bit. Right here should be okay. Yo, Toske, thank you for the subscription. I greatly appreciate it. Also, since you just subscribed for yourself, I just want to let you know you have the option to add a message to the text-to-speech thing. All you got to do is just drop a message in the chat that you want the bird up there to say, and I will manually add that to the text-to-speech program and have the bird say whatever it is that you like. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I want to let you know that you do have the option. Entirely up to you. I talk too much and distract you. I'm sorry, Lampy. Do not worry about that. I get distracted by everything anyway. So if you're worried that you'll distract me on something, just know I'll end up distracting myself. Happens too many times, so do not worry about it. Do not fret. And I thank you. I greatly appreciate that. We're going to catch up to the reading in a little bit. First, we add stick. We're also going to replace or move the head. Okay, so we got the stick right there. We're going to move a little bit more right here. This spot should be good. And shoutouts to EB over here for the idea of the stick. Because, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I never would have thought about the stick. Not gonna lie, that is really, really cool. But thinking about it is also a little terrifying when it leans, or, you know, when it looks up, all of a sudden, like, boom, stick. Like, that stick has been there the entire time. But I really like that concept. That is actually really cool. Okay, let me catch up with some things. Oh, wait, actually, no, I think I caught up with everything. Oh, right, also, Tie-Dye Wolf, welcome on in. How you be? Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. And yeah, I think I caught up with all of it. So let me see. Let's lean these angles in. Oh, hold on a minute. We got that part. But I have a solution for that. Here's what we're going to do to fix that solution. We're actually going to go over here, and we're going to make a deformer for the neck stick. Stick neck? Stick neck. We're going to call this one neck. That is going to be the name of this here deformer. What we're going to do is put a Y angle. Just lean down. Take everything, or yeah, take the top half of it. Just stretch this sucker down. There we go. And we're all good. We're all set. Thank you for the hydrate there, Spock. And I think that should be good. We only got the Y angle, and we didn't even add the blinking yet. I think this came out pretty solid. A little more cursed than I thought with the neck stick, but hey, it gave us the solution, and it actually came out really, really well. But it also terrifies me a little bit. I don't know what it is, but it unsettles me a little bit, that, you know, stick neck. Like, I don't even know why it's unsettling a bit, but it is. But I also really, really like it. Creepy is good. That is also true. Creepy is good. Don't believe me? Go check out Carmy Blossoms. All right. We're done for today. We still got a long ways to go, but we're done for today. I might even have to adjust the leaf up top a little bit more later, but for now, I think we're good. It's almost 11 o'clock anyway, and I need to get some rest because tomorrow I gotta, you know, continue working, gotta continue drawing, gotta work on a lot of things, as well as I got a collab. I believe it's around 6 p.m. PST. Let me double check. What time is it exactly? I want to make sure that I have the correct answer for this. Okay, so the time is 6 p.m. PST. Tomorrow on Saturday, there's going to be a Elden Ring Night Rain collab. So if you're a fan of Elden Ring, if you're a fan of Night Rain, if you're a fan of a bunch of dorks playing Night Rain and probably dying a lot, this is going to be a good run. This is going to be the stream for you. I look forward to seeing you then. On Sunday, we're going to be getting back to working on we're going to try to finish this rig. We're going to try to finish the rig for the Snoth model. And then after that, we won't be back till Tuesday. So, Saturday, Sunday, and yeah, that should be about it. Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. That's when we're going to be, that's going to be the next couple of streams. And with that being said, let's go find someone to raid. Let's see who is on at this hour. Let's find out who we could drop everybody off on right about now. I have a couple of options. Actually, I got a lot of options. Thank God it's Friday. Friday gives a lot of options. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I haven't rated this person in a while. They're currently playing Grounded. I'm gonna drop you folks off over there. Not gonna lie, there was a lot of options to pick. Hey, wait a minute. This person's on? No, wait, I rated them last time. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna drop you folks off over here. With an alien cat. They're currently playing Grounded, which means they're beating up bugs. So we're gonna drop you folks off over there where they're beating up bugs. Yeah, that's a great way to end the stream. Like, yeah, thank you for watching this stream from some bug. Now we're gonna drop you off of the stream where they're beating them up. Yeah, that's a great option. Anyway, we're gonna go there either way, because these people are cool people. Gotta drop you folks off with a Miana. They are alien cat. They are a dork. I say that with admiration. But let's drop you folks off over there. Also, if you want to keep up with the channel, if you want to keep up with these streams, or see what sort of projects we're working on, feel free to check out the link page. We got all sorts of socials over there. We got the YouTube channel where you could catch... you got the YouTube channel where you could just catch a bunch of dumb clips. And we're also going to be adding tutorials later down the road. I got someone working on the tutorials, but that might not be for quite a bit of time. But look forward to that. Also, Fortune, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. We also got the Twitters and the Blue Skies if you want to see what sort of art I make and what sort of art I drop off over there. And yeah, also, if you'd like to support the channel, one good way you could do so is by checking out said link page, because we got all sorts of stuff over there. We got Lampy plushies for a I want to say for a reasonable price. We got Lampy plushies, which I try to ship out all over the world. If you were wondering, like, can Lampy ship these out to, you know, Europe? Let's see, what other places are there? Europe, Canada, Japan, any other places that you could think of. Trying to think, what other places are there where the U.S. actually ships? Anyway, if the U.S. can ship out there, then so can I. That's basically the best way to put it. Like, if it's, if the USPS ships out there, then it ships out there. There you go. That's the best way for me to explain it. So yeah, you could get Lampy plushies. You could also get very affordable models, like the Mothman model or the cat model that you see down in the middle right over there. You can also get free models on the coffee page, like the worm on a string over there on the left, as well as the Snoth model when it's done. So look forward to that. That Snoth model will be available, and yeah, available to anyone and everyone. And let's, we're going to head on out now. That's it. Start the raid. We're going to drop you folks off with the Miana. They're beating up bugs. Let's go. Also, if you would like to, if you or someone you know is looking for live 2D models, both big and small, whether it just be the art or just the rig, or if you're looking for emotes, assets, character sheets, character concepts, animations, any of that sort of stuff, you can either contact me directly, or you can go to the vgen page and check out what we have available there. We also have merch on the Teespring page. I'm currently trying to move that to the Streamlabs, but that one's taking a bit of time. And with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. Always remember, you're all awesome in your own way, because you folks make these streams and this community what it is. It's awesome chatting with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that stuff. And if you lurk, that's great too. But the fact that you took the time out of your day to have this bug rambling on means more to me than you could possibly imagine. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Right, and with that being said, I hope you all have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. Unfortunately, living in Malta means shipping 1,200 times the item. Jesus. I'm sorry to hear that there, friend. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll see you all tomorrow. You all take care now. Laters. Right, raid message. There's your raid message. Pick that up before it's too late. I keep forgetting those things.